Welcome, guys. This is Off the Game. You know the usual suspects of Big Man Katelem, Queen herself Calister, Man of Violence. Yes, and for those who didn't meet Simon on our last episode, this is Simon Lapips, guys.
Violence.
Violence himself, the incarnate.
Arsenal fan.
Arsenal fans. They only have mouth now because they are winning. That's the truth.
Man, no enter you here.
You can't. That's the truth. But yes, we're going to enter something actually, and that is the breaking news for this week. Graham Potter is gone.
You talk like saying don't die.
Shut to Chelsea fans, he might as well be.
Graham, man, he's. You know what? He put in his best. To be honest, his best wasn't good enough. But he did. No, he actually put in his best from what he knows. You know, he came from Brighton. It's not like he had experience in a big club, so I feel like he did what he could do. But I feel like something that really messed him up was they were buying a lot of players. You know, and I don't think they were his players. They were just buying left, right.
But you have to have opinion when your team is buying players.
No, it's not all. That's why Conte has left almost all the teams that he has been in, because most of the time the people he wants, not the people the board is giving him. So he just leaves. No, Conte doesn't care. So he just bounces. So, but Graham Potter doesn't look like that kind of guy. He feels like, okay, he's going to manage. Like when they signed Chukwuemeka, I'm like, why is Chelsea signing Chukwuemeka?
My guy.
He hasn't done much in Aston Villa.
My guy.
Right? Not like I'm against him as a footballer.
You are speaking English.
What is talking about?
Potter was never the right coach for Chelsea.
No, so that's the thing. Yeah. So yes,
because
let me finish.
First of all, you're not finishing anything. First of all, the fact still remains that the fact still remains that Chelsea is bigger than Graham Potter. It makes absolutely no sense that you sack a Thomas Tuchel and replace him with a Potter and give him a 5-year contract.
Now let me.
It does not make sense.
When they brought Pep Guardiola to Barcelona,
Chelsea was.
He had no experience.
Look
That's
at
how
Barcelona.
you do it sometimes.
No. Chelsea is one of the most successful team in recent time in
How about Barcelona?
They have won majorly everything. They won the Champions League. They won the Club World Cup. Immediately after, I'm going somewhere. Before then, Barcelona is not as if Barcelona was bad. Barcelona was winning team, but Pep Guardiola had structure.
They had structure. Barcelona had structure.
Chelsea had no structure at the point in time.
When he came on board.
Yes, when Chelsea went for the Brighton coach, because they just came in from they left Abramovich, bought a new owner, bought him this Bolly, who knows absolutely nothing about football. He's an owner that just wants to get players and buy players. That is one thing for certain. He doesn't care about the opinion of a player, and that's why Tuchel was sacked. Tuchel was not sacked because of his results on the field of play. It was the antecedent of the issue that he cannot work in hand with a new owner who wants to tell a coach the player they should buy, the style of play, and who they should play. And Thomas Tuchel was not going to have that.
See, there are two ways to appoint managers.
Potter cannot control a dressing room. Chelsea's dressing room, he can't control it. There's no big player that Potter has a pedigree as a coach in Chelsea that he will speak to. He's not a world-class coach. Apart from Brighton, he has not won anything written in his name. And coming into a team that has already crisis, cartels like Chelsea, they have players that are not playing at their best of ability. They have a mentality issue. You now throw him under the bus.
But
that was like,
your work,
it's not good of your work. Let me now give you incident that shows that Potter is not good with his work. Two things is involved. The last game, the last straw, Aston Villa. Let's look at that lineup. No matter how you say the players are terrible, make it make sense to me that you start Cucurella not in his natural position. You put in Koulibaly. Thiago Silva is out injured, for obvious reason. Now you start this guy. What's his name? Reece James.
Reece James on the right.
Tell me, Koulibaly has been struggling ever since coming to Chelsea. He has not been at his best. Cucurella off position. Look at that assist. The first goal. Fantastic. Sumptuous. From who? Do you know where he headed the ball back to the goalkeeper? It was like 40 yards to... A natural defender will know that there is no how that ball will get to the goalkeeper. Kepa will come out that far. But he did not know. And he has always played Cucurella. And that's why I tell you, like, when it comes to pedigree, leave whatever is happening to Chelsea. The man knows sabi tactics. Now the truth is that first of all, you have Chaluba on the bench for crying out loud. Chaluba is his natural position. Chaluba has more experience. Yes, Yes, Chalupa has more
It's not the
experience.
first time they are playing somebody out of position.
That is
now.
you're not
Exactly.
getting
Trossard
that.
has been doing fantastic. Is he playing
Don't
for
compare
City?
Trossard and Chelsea.
No, I'm not. No,
You
no,
can't
no,
do
no,
that.
look at
You can't
City.
do
See,
that.
there are two ways you appoint a
Can't.
manager. One, you can appoint a manager with already with an existing pedigree, which is what let me say, like
What
a
pedigree
Real
are you
Madrid to
talking
do in
about?
terms of bringing in Ancelotti.
Okay,
Right.
that's coaching
Yes.
pedigree. Yeah?
Now, there have also been times they've brought inexperienced managers that have done well. Pep is the number one example.
How
Pep
many years ago?
had no experience.
How many years ago?
No, that was even when football was harder.
It
Now
can't-
football is not even that hard.
It can't happen now.
Pep came in from the academy.
It
What was the
can't
first
happen
thing he
now.
did? He let Ronaldinho go.
It
He
can't.
let Eto'o go. He came with big decisions. Do you
It can't
understand?
happen
Zidane
now.
came with no experience
So are you
whatsoever.
attributing
And he did a
Potter?
three-peat in Champions League. No, I'm not saying that. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Do you understand what I'm saying?
That's where I'm
Sometimes it
going to.
works,
That's
sometimes it
where I'm
doesn't work.
going
So
to.
now it
They
didn't
give
work. It doesn't mean that Potter is so terrible.
Terrible coach.
It just didn't work. Move on with life, man. You
No,
go to
you
You
another
can't
team.
move on with life
Wait,
because
wait.
60 million is going to be paid to
Money
Potter.
will always be
And
spent, man. How
secondly,
many times?
look at the
Coutinho,
transfer.
Barca signed him for 140 million. He didn't
That
do-
was a
money
joke.
will always be spent.
Look at the
My
transfer.
my issue with it is that they didn't give you. Okay, you're buying all these players, bro.
No time.
No time. And some of the players, okay, maybe he said some of the players didn't have a say, but these are all young players. They can be groomed.
Yeah.
That's what Brighton had a very good scouting agency. They scout, they bring players, he grooms them, Potter grooms
That
them
is
to his
Brighton.
philosophy.
Change
No,
Chelsea's culture.
Brighton has-
Chelsea don't have time to wait for you. Chelsea is a big club. Let me explain some things to you. Chelsea is in a big club.
Are they
That
the
one.
first big
Let,
club?
let,
Arsenal is
let
a
me
big team.
finish.
Why are they not?
No, let me finish.
Okay.
Chelsea is a big club. As I said, one of the most successful club in recent time in Europe. Get me right. Chelsea get into the top four. They win laurels. They get the big names. They attract top players. Now Chelsea is currently 12th. They might finish outside Europe entirely. Tell me next season, which big coach will attract themselves to a Chelsea team and player will move to a Chelsea team knowing that they will not play anywhere in Europe.
If they're a
and
big
will
club,
not
they
play
always attract
top
people.
team.
If they're as big as what you're saying, they always attract people.
Yeah.
They are big.
When
they are
Mourinho
big.
finished, the last time that Mourinho was in Chelsea, he
Yeah.
finished, what position did he finish that?
Was
Was not like 10th.
10th.
No.
Yeah, 10th.
No, they fired him.
When they fired him, what position
Yes,
were they?
they
That's what I'm
fired-
saying.
that is why they fired
No, but
him.
that was Abramovich.
No.
That was Abramovich. If you're bringing a new owner,
That is
he has to have
Chelsea's
his new
culture. Whether there's
no
a new
problem.
owner
But what
or
I'm saying, it
not.
doesn't mean Potter is a bad coach.
He
because
is
he
a
did not work.
bad coach. He knows Sabi in work.
Nah, 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 nah,
All
nah,
right.
nah.
Potter wasn't the only coach that was sacked. Yeah. They fired this guy too. What's his name, please? Tottenham's manager.
What
Conte.
was that name? Conte. Yeah.
Yes, they
I
fired
don't know,
Fired
to me,
Leicester
Brighton-
left.
No,
Brendan
Tottenham
Rodgers
zone is
after 4
Tottenham
years.
zone to me is spiritual. Like how many coaches? How many? The failure in that club is too much. Like they are so
Bad, isn't it?
used to failure. Like they are
Is
so.
it
See
the-
Kane, yeah, you spent all your 20s in Tottenham. Move. Kane, to me, Kane is scared of success. I'm serious. I'm serious. Kane is
English
scared of
players majorly
success.
scared of success
Since
generally.
move. What is holding you? You have to go and renew contract. Why?
And that was a mistake on his
There
I
is
think
no
it was- I think it was
see,
also
on his
the
agent's
owner.
part.
No.
No, his agent fucked him
Kane
up in
is,
that moment.
to me, Kane is scared of moving to another club and failing and not scoring.
that-
Kane is
that
comfortable
might be
being the
point.
big fish in a little pond.
I
I'm
understand
telling
what
you,
you're
see
saying.
what happened in the this in our World Cup against France. They had it. England had it there. Kane score penalties. Kane they send them go man. Like why?
But there-
No
there are
clutch
issues
gene. No
that
clutch
are-
gene.
see,
He
Okay,
doesn't have a
hold
clutch
on.
gene.
Then why have they not fired Liverpool's club?
Because Klopp has provided
Klopp,
results.
he has
He
done
has,
Before
given them
prior, right?
champions. In the
Yeah.
span of 7 years that Klopp has been there.
Uh-huh.
Klopp reached. There was one time 98 points. He was
you
battling
give him
with
time
Guardiola.
now. Okay,
You
I
keep
agree.
battling with
When
Guardiola.
he came
gave
in,
them
when he
the
came in and he
distance.
started, he went to Europa League final, lost the final,
Yeah.
right? If it was something like Chelsea now, they would have fired Klopp.
No,
Let's be
Chelsea's
honest.
history, like what Calister said, Chelsea's history, but even Abramovich made it that way. They don't have time to waste.
But now it's a
You
new
understand?
owner. It's a new owner.
This
it's a new
their
system.
this
It's
guy.
not-
Who is
see,
this guy in
when
But
you
that
2012?
say-
doesn't make the coach a
When
bad
you
coach.
say it's a new owner, it doesn't mean that a culture of a club that has stayed for over decades will just turn over.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
would
but
we
if
say
you're
decades?
bringing
We're
all
talking
those
about 20
players,
years.
then your
Decades.
culture has to shift.
When did he
No.
buy it?
If you're
20
buying,
years
if you're
ago.
buying
Sorry,
20 players
sorry.
in one season,
What's the
your
name of
culture
that
has to shift.
Chelsea?
When
Exactly,
Ibrahimovic
it's the
came
same
in, when
culture.
Ibrahimovic came in, do you know how many players they bought?
How many? It was not close to what they bought now. It was not close
It's
at
the
all.
money
I know the
difference
players they bought
now.
now. That was
It's the
John
money
Terry
difference.
Lampard. That period. It
It's
wasn't
the money
close.
difference now.
And players that they haven't even played together before.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that.
Give
man.
them time.
You
That's
can't do
that's
that.
my own.
No.
Thought. So back to let's go to Liverpool now. For example, Liverpool lost 4-1, right? They are in a bad run of form, but nobody's talking about Klopp being fired. I know you say, oh, he has already proven himself. Yeah, but before he started, they gave him time. they're not giving people like Potter time. He's not a fantastic coach, but sometimes things just click. You get at the time when Klopp came through, he lost continue. And it was like, oh my God, where are they going to go? But he found players, his system, he created a system around the boys he had. Are you trying to tell me that Potter would have been able to create the same system, even if no matter how small or how non-visible we think it is, or there's no philosophy behind it, something would have come out of place.
First of all, when Jurgen Klopp went to Liverpool has not won the Premier League as long as when?
30 years.
In fact, he won it after 30 years.
Close to 30.
The point is that if you look, the transition of clubs is different. Liverpool at that point were at the lowest. It's like Arsenal in the last 14 years. They have not won the Premier League. No matter how they play in Europa League, they have not been this close to winning the Premier League. That's in 20 years. So if any coach is coming in, the club knows that they are going to give them the coach time to build them back to that level. As for Chelsea or any other club, Chelsea won it at last with Antonio Conte in 2016. After they sacked Mourinho, the next season, Chelsea did what? They won the Premier League. So for a club like Liverpool, they will give Jurgen Klopp time. First of all, because it took them a long time to win the Premier League. He did not only win the Premier League, he won the Champions League with this team and has given Man City a run for their money in the last 3 seasons. Now, Liverpool are still within making it into Champions League position. They are still in the competition. You have Liverpool, Spurs, United running simultaneously. So they are living. They are living the club. The team is not playing so badly. They are out of the Champions League. We know for obvious reason. They started their season badly, so we don't expect a lot. Injuries in the midfield where he refused. That was the coach. The coach himself, he refused to buy those players because you will not tell me the club don't have money. The club can't have money to buy Darwin Núñez. The fact that they let go of money, bringing Darwin Núñez, they have Salah, who a lot has not really given him his credit because 42% of Liverpool's goals this season has come from that man. Darwin Núñez struggling. The likes of Luis Diaz is out injured, so some of their players were not fit enough for them earlier in the season, so they were struggling. Right now, Liverpool are at their lowest, but in the next 10 games before the end of the season, do you think Liverpool will not make it to the top 4? The chances of Liverpool making it to the top 4 is better than the chances of Chelsea making it into Europe. So for me, I see no reason why the owners will sack him. They will keep faith in him and feel that he will push this team back into the top 4 and hope for a better season where in terms of transfer. That is why at the beginning of the season, he's the only man left standing. At his press conference today, he said, shockingly, he's the only man standing. And he knows why he's the only man standing. Because among the whole team, be it Leicester, be it Chelsea, be it Spurs, he has a squad that is likely to make it to the top 4 than these teams.
Okay.
Right.
I have something. Do you think they have not released Klopp because they know the issue in Liverpool is the midfield? In Chelsea, they're looking for the issues because they have bought new players. They're asking the coach, okay, there's no issue. Why aren't you not providing money? For Liverpool, everybody knows that the midfield is short. They don't have midfield anymore. So they know the issue. So they're giving him time. Maybe next season, after this summer, he'll go by. Maybe they're looking at Jude.
Yeah.
Jude Bellingham.
Yeah, you can get some midfielders because Van Dijk, the core is still there. Salah is still there. They have improved. They have brought Núñez. They have brought Gakpo. They have started scoring a little bit more. Van Dijk is still there. Matip is still there. Some of their core pieces that took them to the Champions League and won. It's just that midfield. So I think that is why Liverpool, they are giving him time because they know the issue. They know the issue they have to address. But in terms of Chelsea, Potter, they have given him over 600 million, Baba.
Yeah.
Over 600 million. And you're 10th.
I think
No,
for
you're not
Liverpool
10th,
as well.
You are 12th,
Yeah,
11th.
For Liverpool as well, they know that they don't spend like you were talking about culture. They're not like the kind of team that spends a lot.
They don't spend
And that's like Chelsea will spend like 600 million, Liverpool will just spend 80, 100, and they're not even buying the people that they actually need. So, but I feel like with Chelsea, like it's one thing to sign good players, but it's another thing to sign players that will mix together. Like that's why there's a reason why the Galacticos, Real Madrid, did not really perform so well. When you're just buying, people, you buy Kaka, you buy this one, you buy this one. There's no chemistry between. It's not about buying the players. You need to. That's why there are scout reports. That's why there are people who actually their job is to find out who exactly PSG. I'm even going too far in Galacticos. PSG. There's no team chemistry. Right. So that's why people need to know that there needs to be a chemistry as well.
Just one thing before we quickly move from the Chelsea and issue thereabout debate. I just have to say that confidently, I cannot beat my chest and say Potter can win from a losing position. That is why I say tactically, he's not there for the Chelsea level. A mid-table team, Everton, Crystal Palace, Leeds United, best option. But when you come to the big guns, whereby you have to do with pride, cabals, players' attitude, Eric Ten Hag did a great job, immediately entered United. He started it, he told the board, agree with me, allow me do my job. I will bench anybody I want to bench. Nobody that is agreeing, go out of my team. Make a statement. And Eric Ten Hag is not in the level of Potter. This man has gone to the semi-finals of the Champions League with Ajax. This man is a crazy man if you really follow the Ajax team under Eric Ten Hag. So I laugh at people when they want to compare Potter and Eric Ten Hag. It's quite disrespectful. This guy has no CV and no credibility. The point still remains that you tell me that he has no say in the transfer. I agree. But when I look at his selections and not knowing the right players to come into a team, I still feel angry that you disrespect Tuchel enough to fire him, and you, of all replacements, you can't even give me Pochettino. I will agree. You can't even give me Frank Lampard. I will agree because Frank Lampard has coached Chelsea before. Then you bring in a clueless coach that will play a right back, or what is it called, at the same time when you have a natural player at the back, and you expect me to sit down here and applaud him that they should give him time. Chelsea can never be a team that will give Graham Potter time to succeed while they are out of Europe entirely. You should thank his stars that he has just upgraded his CV with being the coach of Chelsea. As for Chelsea, they'll count their loss and hopefully they get the best man, either Mourinho, Pochettino, Enrique, or Nagelsmann from Bayern.
So how has Jurgen Klopp been escaping getting fired? This season of the Premier League apparently has had the highest number of manager firings ever. That number being 12. And then there's Liverpool, who I hear have been having losses left and right, like all over the place. Like, Liverpool fans, are you guys okay? Do you need a hug or something? But all these losses have brought their manager under the sights of potential firing. But he seems pretty confident. He's like, guys, just fashy this season. I mean, it's a rough season for us, but think about all the accomplishments I've helped you guys achieve from the past. Like, judge me by my past. Don't judge me by this current season. Like, during an interview, right, in a nutshell, his final words are just, it is what it is, and we move. But yeah, I guess his back must be hurting from all the carrying he's been doing. And besides, it doesn't hurt to win your rival 7-0 every now and then. Am I right?
That's true. So now, based on what you just said, I also want to throw this question out there. Now we have Tottenham and Chelsea that are out of managers, right?
Leicester City. I mean, we get to Nigeria. We get to Nigeria.
Shall I not for the Nigerian boys? That's our bias. If not, because those guys are getting 19th, 2 points away from the relegation.
Bro, you see that relegation spot?
What is that?
From
We get
20th to
three
12th is like
Nigerians.
5 points.
True.
No, from 19th to 12th is like 5 points. So anybody
So
can enter there.
anybody
So
can
who
enter
Chelsea
there.
can fall?
get it.
That is the problem.
No,
Chelsea fired their coach.
Chelsea is not there.
All right.
It's 3 points though. There's no point. 3
You
points
have
for
it.
relegation.
Chelsea.
That's why they fired them. That
3 points.
they're
no.
11. They're 11
No,
on the
it's not 3
point.
points. It's not 3 points.
Okay.
We'll check that into
It's like, no, it's not 3 points. I know it's from 12 to 19.
Well, let me ask this. Now, if you're Nagelsmann, right? There's Tottenham that is struggling for top 4, Abi, with Man U, Newcastle, which we won't get to that top 4 gist. Then you still have Chelsea. They have all the resources you need. They will give you the money. Who would you go for? Oh, before you even go, there's also Madrid in Spain that might lose Ancelotti.
No, that one. I think Ancelotti is secure where he is, except he wants to leave.
I know he might leave
Oh,
because Brazil
yeah,
are chasing
Brazil,
him.
yeah.
The offer is
But
still
he
juicy.
said as long as Madrid wants him, he's there.
Did you
He's not-
see? This is the
No,
believe coach and player.
Perez can do anything that anybody wants to match. Perez will match anybody that
Fair
Ancelotti
enough.
wants to.
So, but as Nagelsmann now, where would you go?
Nagelsmann is not even the only coach in contention. There's Luis Enrique.
Well, he's like the best there now.
No.
Luis
Enrique?
has won Champions League.
Come
Luis
on.
Enrique has won Champions League.
Don't put Enrique in that.
Nagelsmann is almost on Potter's level. Just like he has managed
Thank
Bayern
you.
Munich. No, honestly, because he managed
Be
Leipzig.
honest.
What do you mean there? Nothing. But he's a good coach. No, I'm not
Yes,
taking it.
yes.
I also believe Potter it just didn't work. There are some
See,
things that don't work.
He's not a world-class coach.
No, he's not a world-class coach for sure.
If Bayern believed in him, they wouldn't have fired him when they were having Man City next in the Champions League.
Yeah. You see the problem now.
You understand?
Yeah.
You understand? If they really believed in him, they wouldn't have fired him
And
when
it
they
might be
know
like
that
a
they have,
step down
they have
for-
Man City next.
It might not be a step down for
It
Chelsea.
was a coup, though. We know that the players were not comfortable with him because of his girlfriend, who was a press person. Yes, that was a coup. Most of the players in Bayern were not friends. In fact, they were not surprised with that deal. You look at the fact that he was on vacation when the sacking came.
Yes,
Some
he
top
found on media.
senior players at Bayern pushed for Nagelsmann to leave. Not because of...
Although a lot of them were
these
claiming they didn't know
issues.
anything about it.
He
But
knew
also,
about it.
also with the age, even when he came in, him and Neuer are the same age.
Yes.
Do you get?
He
So
had issues
there's
with
always
Lewandowski.
that. It's like how when Andre Villas-Boas came to
So there were
to Chelsea.
division in the
Drogba and
dressing
all those like person
my
really
guy,
young past me,
my
yeah,
age
all
guy.
those things. Although like
Even Frank
when-
Lampard had that issue when he was at Chelsea at some point.
and when as a young coach going into like a big club like that with all those egos, it's very difficult. Like Will Still in Rennes in France, he can hack it. I think he's 30,
Yes.
but he can hack it because there are no big
They're not-
players in Rennes. I think
But
their
tell
biggest player is
Neymar, you're
Folarin.
30, you're telling
Folarin,
Neymar
but-
to come and sit down.
So you need to have it.
That's true.
Do you
That's true.
understand?
He's not going to listen to you.
Yeah,
Why will he
so-
listen to you?
It's
When
very
he
true.
has played with world-class coaches, they are telling
He
you.
had issues with Lewandowski, the same thing with Neuer's.
Who's that?
training manager.
Nagelsmann.
Yeah.
I said there were issues with top players, and the club value their players
I know.
more than
Yeah,
you.
The thing is
So,
that top
okay.
players, they look at resume, they don't look at what
Yeah,
that's
tactics.
true.
They don't look
That
at
is why I
tactics,
say
they look at
a
resume.
coach profile is very important to the success of any team. For
Yeah, but-
Chelsea right now, they need a coach that can instill that fear. I want to tell Todd Bowley something. I know you know we're an international.
Why international or
podcast.
global?
So
This
let
guy,
me
she want us to Todd Bowley.
let me advise Todd Bowley.
Todd
I beg,
Bowley.
advise him, advise
You
him,
have
TV.
money, right? Come closer. You have money. Ensure you convince the Dane with every single. In fact, tell all your players. Look, how can you be paying more than 300 and something pounds? Carry that money and add it to the money and offer Zidane money. France will not sign him. So there's no team right now that will push for Zidane. He's a man. Convince him. Let him come to Chelsea. By the time he step to that Stamford Bridge, let me see the player that will not play.
Well, I have like coming from a left, another angle. Might just crash this castle.
I beg, crash and make all of us
You
all
think says
disperse.
Zidane go succeed for Chelsea the way he succeed with Ronaldo.
Why?
People they forget say for Madrid he get Ororo, BBC,
Bro, people forget.
Benzema, Bale, Cristiano Ronaldo, Mr. Champions League himself.
Hello.
No, let's be-
Off that
it's
your
just-
cap confuses it sometimes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something here.
Oh, yeah, talk to me.
See, Zidane, you cannot put his yes, Ronaldo contributed to his success.
Let me
Large.
hear what
Fine,
you say.
fine. Congratulations for
large.
that. But
No
Large.
doubt.
he's a tactical coach. His
Give me.
his credibility cannot just be on Ronaldo.
Now
No,
let me.
coach, let me tell
Perez
you.
is not going
See,
to make a business decision
back
like that.
to back Champions League winner. See, you cannot tell me you can't convince me. There's no how Zidane will come to this Chelsea team. He looks at Enzo, Joao Felix, Mason Mount. Oh my
And he
God.
cannot create a standard
And he
squad from
cannot even ensure that this team picks up in terms of mentality. It's not possible. I think he will be able to hit the ground rolling at the moment than maybe a coach coming in. Because as I said, the players' mentality are low. They have absolutely no desire or passion.
Once
to
they
play for this
see,
team.
once they
So
see
when
someone that
they
is
see
big,
a coach that is big with that kind of imagine
as a
they walk
footballer, as a coach,
Imagine
he has won everything.
walking into
Yes.
a room and he
I-
tells you that, okay, this next game we are playing, just watch, we are going to do this. You want to listen. But imagine a Nagelsmann coming to tell you something.
That's the problem. I would say that Zidane's managerial career was not down to tactics. Zidane is not so tactically astute. This is what you said now is what makes Zidane that coach. His pedigree. He has done it as a player. He was in Castilla. He was in Madrid's academy.
Yeah.
So they already knew about. There was a time he was the assistant coach. So they already knew him. They knew what he was about. So when he entered the dressing room, and Zidane obviously already there's a way he carries himself. Do you understand? You cannot just go and talk to Zidane anyhow. There's a way he carries himself. So that was what gave him his success. Alongside, Ronaldo was at the peak of his career. Sergio Ramos was at the peak of his career. Modric was just entering the peak of his career. Cruz, Casemiro.
You can ask-
Everything just came together.
People forget
Let's
that
go Zidane.
Madrid
Hold
squad.
on, hold on.
Do you understand?
People forget that Madrid squad was so deep. They had
Give that Madrid squad to another
scoring
team.
goals.
Thank
for
you.
fun.
Give
Yeah.
that
Give that
Madrid
Madrid
squad to
team.
another coach.
Rafael Benitez was
You will
there.
see a flaw.
He was
I'm
fucking
not
it up.
saying that Zidane
Before
didn't do
we go
anything.
there,
No,
before
no,
we go
no.
there, no doubt. Before we go there, people say, oh, Zidane didn't actually get this, he didn't do this. If you look at his own track, before he became the assistant coach for Ancelotti, he was the technical director for Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Perez doesn't make business. If you know Perez, he doesn't make business decisions based on I like you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See,
No
there are
matter
different.
who
There
you
are
are.
different ways.
Hold
Okay,
on.
go ahead. Go ahead.
He had that. He had his football knowledge. So they said, okay, become technical director. He brought Ancelotti. He spoke to Perez and said, I want to learn under this person. He went under him. When Ancelotti
Zidane.
When Ancelotti left, he went to Casilla to practice everything.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
man was still going to Bayern to go and watch Guardiola give lectures, go and watch Bielsa. So he took his time to learn the trade properly. So when he came to Madrid, Perez felt assured handing over his £5 billion team to him. I said, I trust you.
I think he came as an interim coach at first. I don't think they appointed him. He was the assistant to who left?
No, he was.
I think he had gone to Lopetegui.
Casilla.
He had left.
No,
I think he was the assistant.
after. It was after. It was before. It was after Benitez.
Yeah, Benitez.
It was Benitez.
Sorry,
And Ronaldo
it was
said,
Benitez.
what are we playing
Yes,
that
yes,
we're
it was
using
Benitez.
the crossbar?
Exactly.
And Ronaldo was like,
but
oh,
you
I'm
see,
not
there are
having
different
that
different
kind of
ways you can manage a team. Yeah, if you know about Man U, you know that Ferguson was hardly in the dressing room.
Yeah.
All the players will tell you that he was hardly in the dressing room. It was the coaches that were doing all the tactical things for him. Ferguson would just come to the game when it's time to give team talk, and he was not much about the tactics and stuff like that. Ferguson just had people management. Anybody that was under Ferguson will tell you that he will call your grandmother if your grandmother is sick. He will bring. I think it was Ferdinand or so, one of those players that said that there was a time his granddad was sick and he brought his granddad's favorite wine. He had never told Ferguson about it before. So those are also ways that you can motivate people. You know, like football is also a business. There's a way you motivate your staff as a business. You don't even need to know so much about the business.
Just
motivate them. So Todd Bowley. We're talking to Todd Bowley. It's not only Zidane, though. There are a lot of people
Please,
if
Zidane.
Ferguson himself can come back and coach Man U, man. I don't
Zidane.
mind.
Talking about
But
Man
Chelsea
U.
fans, let's ask Chelsea fans this question. Zidane, Enrique, who?
I mean, I'll take Zidane any day. I don't even care about the tactics. I'll take Zidane. I just need that guy in my dressing room.
So off the game says what?
Zidane, man.
Thank you
But
very
why is he
much.
not in contention? I'm saying like
He's a big boy. How can he be in contention with
he's looking
Henry?
for the French team.
Yeah,
man.
he's really looking for it.
I didn't even
No,
know.
they have renewed French team. So there's no
With
French
Deschamps.
team.
No, Deschamps is doing a fantastic job.
Did
You
it
can't.
Deschamps?
You can't.
All right, let's look at top 4.
In Premier League.
In Premier League.
It's not hard. I would say it's for you. Man City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Man U.
Man
guy,
City,
my guy.
Arsenal, Newcastle, Man U.
It's not hard.
Let's hear from the Arsenal fans, sir.
Wait.
No, like not Man City before Arsenal. Though. I'm just saying. No, now your problem with that.
Who is this guy? You guys keep believing
Sorry,
that we
Arsenal, City, Man U maybe.
Public service
Newcastle.
announcement, guy. On the last day, on the 38th match, I'll be here.
38th match.
38th match.
The 38th game.
Match now,
Okay,
football
38th match.
match.
Okay.
You understand now?
I beg, make your PS.
See them,
One,
see my
38th
enemies
match
confusing me.
No. I don't.
We want Arsenal to win.
To all our viewers, Muna just raise up your spirits now. Kuna, if you are anime fans, send me chakra. See, send us now chakra, spirits bomb, anything. We must win. We cannot let Pep do 4 in a row.
Bro,
It's
see,
three,
you see
three,
that
three
Arsenal
in a row,
City
three in
game.
a row.
You
Three.
see that
He has
Arsenal City
1.5.
game.
He has 1.5. Guy, he go turn Premier League to Farmers League.
He has already turned it, bro.
I'm begging.
He has already turned it. No.
Hello, my dear.
Premier League is a farmers league.
See, Arsenal fans, after Liverpool game, then we can have this conversation.
Yeah.
You
Actually,
understand?
No, you
Actually,
see that
they have
City
a
actually
game,
believe
that
that.
City game. Too.
After this Liverpool
If Arsenal don't win City, that's a problem.
no, it's not a problem. I believe we can lose to City twice. We have lost already. Or we still
No,
win the
but
league. I
it's the,
believe we
it's the
can.
mentality of it. Do you understand? Like losing to City again and having City having that momentum and it will affect Arsenal.
Did you guys watch
honestly.
the Leeds game? They played like, we know we are champions.
Yeah,
They played
yeah,
with
yeah.
conviction.
There's a
Hello?
mentality.
But you see that clean sheet
Hello?
thing that they have
Hello?
not hacked yet. It might come back to bite you.
They are having serious defensive problems.
It
Their
might come back
expected
to
goals
bite you.
Saliba is
high.
injured. Why are you
Yeah,
using
that one
holding?
did,
Why are
that
you
one
currently
did.
using
Yeah.
holding
That
right
one
now?
did, that one
And
did.
what's his name? That they are.
So he's not holding things down for you guys.
Holding.
That's
Ramsdale? Tomiyasu
He's
is out to
injured
the
too.
end of
He's
the
injured.
season.
So
No, but he was not even the first choice. Ben White.
He
is-
was before.
No.
Before-
Ben White has, since the beginning of this season, has been Ben White.
Yeah, last season it was.
Yeah, that was last season. But Ben White has been fantastic. And you know, Ben White, there's
He started
actually
this season injured.
Yeah, there's
Tomiyasu.
a
That's
theory about Ben White that he actually doesn't care about football. I don't know if you guys have heard that.
I've
And if you watch the way
watched
he
it.
plays, it's like this guy doesn't
He
play.
said
He's just
that
good.
they asked him in an interview, what
Yeah.
do you believe you're not a footballer? He said he'll be a gardener with his dad.
Say he doesn't watch it.
He doesn't watch
Yeah, he
football.
doesn't watch football games.
And
That's
it's interesting.
crazy.
But I wanted to talk your point. There's a mentality shift to Arsenal. I've been watching them.
Yeah, actually, I
even
agree
if they
with
lose,
that.
I'm so confident. Even if they lose, they'll still get next game.
I
They
agree
have
with
this
that.
mentality. A game. Just
Even that Bournemouth
game at a
game,
time.
that
One
Bournemouth game
game
that
at
they
a time,
scored
one
last
game at a time.
minute.
Yeah.
That was when I know
There's a
these
mentality
boys are
shift.
serious. These boys are serious.
Because last season we fumbled when Partey got injured. We fumbled top 4.
No,
we
you lost
fumbled
to
that thing.
Southampton, drew, lost again.
Yes, we literally fumbled. We
Is that not
fumbled
Man
the
U
bag.
recently?
We fumbled the
You
bag.
see, it's like this thing you're saying about Port. It's the same thing with Arteta. When Arteta came in, after he won that FX, it was just Arsenal were
Hello,
not doing
who be this
anything.
guy now?
Yeah, I
People
think-
were saying
This guy.
Arteta out all over the place.
Yeah, I
Do you
think-
understand? They gave him time.
No, Arsenal will give Arteta time.
Why?
When last did Arsenal win the league now?
Kai, stop
When
bringing
last-
last
us
we-
like
when
this.
last did Chelsea win the
no,
league?
Don't worry, you can say- you
They
can
won
say
it
this
recently,
year.
more than
That's
Arsenal.
9 years ago.
Yeah,
Or I
it's
mean
not-
8 years ago.
Which 8
I've been
years
waiting
ago?
my
It's
man
not
to talk.
up to.
Okay,
Let
7
me
years
let me
ago.
clear it. Let me clear it.
7 years ago. Now
That's
it's
what I'm
close.
saying.
Seven
Before
what?
then,
Man City don't turn Premier League
when
to
last
Farmers League anyway.
when last before Arteta came was Arsenal in
Arsenal-
No,
the
but
Champions League.
Arteta was failing. Let's not forget that too. And it's not like he had experience in the Premier League. All he had was understudy to Pep. That's all he had.
Yes.
You understand? So there's
For the
some
longest
if
time.
it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that the player. See, Luis Enrique didn't work for Spain. Doesn't make Luis Enrique a bad coach at all. Graham Potter is not a bad coach. You
personally
understand?
dug his grave at Spain because you cannot
How do
just
you
put
mean?
some pets and let's not go
What?
into
Because
the
of Sergio Ramos.
Not Ush
No,
Ramos.
I can tell you, I
Ush
didn't carry
Ramos- See,
it.
there are a lot of
Okay.
players.
I didn't carry that.
You
You
can't
guys
do
Spain, their
that.
politics die.
You
now.
can't do
Yeah,
that
that
in
one is
Spain.
normal.
You don't do that.
Normal
You're
stuff.
not a serious coach.
So you guys don't think Man City are going to like topple Arsenal?
You know what? I have a very unpopular opinion, but I'll keep it because this guy there beside me. I feel we'll see one or two blows, but you see that Man City Arsenal game. That's what I'm waiting for. If Arsenal can get a draw in that game, then I'll say okay. But if City wins that game,
To be fair,
especially Arsenal is playing Liverpool, this City has already played their own Liverpool. They've carried their Liverpool points.
to be
and
fair,
kept.
we have tough games. We have Newcastle,
Yes,
Liverpool.
you guys have
Man-
tough
we
games,
have
so
tough
that's the
games.
problem.
Let's see Chelsea.
That's the problem. And you guys still have Chelsea too. Although Chelsea,
Them and
No,
them
there's
and
a new
Newcastle
mentality
have-
of new coach, so it's a different
Yeah,
game.
that's
Arsenal
one
and
thing.
Newcastle
That
have
one did.
a tight end to the season. This business end for them is really tight.
But the good thing is that we don't have any other cup ties. We are,
Yeah.
we are focused on only
on
the
Premier
league.
League.
You understand? I saw the schedule for Man City. They have like 3 matches back to back to
No,
back.
those one, Man
time,
City
Man-
knows how to handle that pressure. They've won
That's-
four trophies in the
That's
season
true,
before,
that's
so
true.
that one is a problem.
Do you guys think? Sorry.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Haaland is going to like clear 35, 40 goals in the Prem?
Is that a question?
The problem with Haaland is
He has
his
gotten injured
injuries.
now.
It's his injury. He has always had that problem, even when he
Yeah.
was in Dortmund.
He has gotten
He had
injured now.
injury problems, so that's the only problem with Haaland.
But I think he can
if
reach
he's-
30.
What?
This season, he can reach
He was on
30.
28 now.
Eh, no.
Bro, he's on 28. There are like 9 games to go.
He can reach
Saying
30.
they've
I
got
was
2 goals in
shocked,
9
man.
games.
I dey pray may he just reach 30.
No, he will break
Na
the record
prayer-
for
na the
sure.
prayer
But
make he
what
reach
I wanted
30.
him to do, because there was a time that while he was scoring, they extrapolated the number of goals you have at the rate he was scoring, and they came up to 66.
Yeah, 66.
So I was just praying that he will get to that level, but at least I want him to have 35, 40, so that it will be
Yeah.
hard for the
I know he
next
was going,
person
at the
to
beginning of this
to beat
season.
it.
I did say Haaland was going to get 40 goals
Mm.
in all
He
competitions.
still might.
Yeah, he
still
will.
must
And
do,
his
yeah.
injury, City knows what they are doing.
Yeah.
It's not as if
Champions
it's
League.
they are trying to
Yeah.
they're trying to be very careful and not take a risk because they know the game against Bayern.
Yeah.
Now they see the mentality has changed for Bayern players.
It's now too cool.
Now it's Tuchel. Tuchel has beaten Pep Guardiola at a final in the Champions League.
He has beaten
And it
that's-
cup finals
cannot
too.
happen
That's
again.
true.
And if you look at the Bayern squad, they have Serge Gnabry,
That's
Sané, Mane.
But City has someone
Crazy.
that knows how to score Bayern.
See,
That's the difference.
Haaland.
City has someone that knows how to
Whether
score
he
Bayern.
knows how to score Bayern, City has shown that they can deprive Haaland the goal by not getting him the balls. Foden this season was not as explosive as it was last season. He's
Who's
just
that, Foden?
Yes, after
He
the
has
World
also
Cup.
been injured now.
After the World Cup, he's trying to
He has
come back
also
to
been
form.
injured.
Kevin De Bruyne on a good day is Haaland's like his
The guy's
Haaland's.
spamming crosses.
Thank you.
And I think
they're not
Mahrez
using
is
him to his full
as
potential.
Who is
selfish
that?
as yesterday. Mahrez will just wake up one day and decide that he's not going to play. Then the day you want to see Mahrez, you will see Mahrez and you will be so glad
You leave Mahrez.
that
Mahrez
Mahrez
is a big game player.
is a
He's a
big
big
game
game player.
So,
So that one is no
as I
problem.
said, City are so careful. They have Arsenal, they have Bayern game. I think the Arsenal game comes before the Bayern Champions League game.
Yeah.
So they are going to be careful. Now the lineup will, I'm so happy for Alvarez,
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez, because
that boy is a
he-
baller.
he's
That one he has been like that from World
He's
Cup.
going to turn 20 tomorrow, and the mentality has already changed for him. He's going to slot into a Pep Guardiola team, even if Haaland is there.
Because
Depending on the choice of
I
who
think-
the coach wants to play.
I think he plays that Jesus role, but he's more clinical.
Aguero-
He's
see,
more clinical. than
He's
Jesus.
an Aguero
South
reject.
America.
He's
He's
more.
an
He's
Aguero
like
reject.
Jesus, that control,
Yeah.
that ability
South
to in
American.
between. But he's just
He's
more.
an
He's just
bro,
more
see,
clinical.
anybody
He's
that can
fucking
do it at the
clinical.
World Cup, you have already proven yourself. There's nothing Alvarez needs to prove again.
Yeah,
He was
that's true,
Argentina's
that's true.
9 in the World
World
Cup. Yeah, you
Wow.
don't. There's nothing you have to prove again.
All right, for Man City now, their aim, we all know, is not as much the league as it is Champions League. You
Pep Guardiola
have
is greedy.
fair enough, Sha.
Yeah.
That one's true.
They can actually win the treble. They have it opportunity.
They are still
They're
in line for the
Before
treble.
we do
The
treble.
FA Cup,
FA
Premier
Cup,
League, and
they are
Champions
still in
League.
Then
line.
he will
Treble.
leave City.
Abi, and go where?
Where we
He will leave City if he wins the Champions League.
He will
He has gone.
retire. Pep has complete. Pep is just that champion
Yeah,
that is
it's
holding
just-
him. He's
no,
just
but he
that
hasn't won the
champion.
Champions League now.
No,
but
without
with
Messi.
City,
Without
There's
Messi.
a caveat
yeah,
without
yeah,
Messi.
without
Without
Messi.
Messi.
But who do you think now will win the Champions League? Because you have Napoli. No, before we get to Napoli, you have Bayern that just got Tuchel. We know that he's a competition manager, big game manager. You have Pep, Mr. Overthinker himself, and you have Napoli. Then you also have
Bayern.
by who?
What,
Who's
Madrid?
also Ba-
Madrid.
No, that one, now they are bet right now. Champions
you.
League, now they are
Pedigree,
bet
it's
right.
football
Yes.
heritage.
Before you call other things, you have to come. Why didn't you start with Madrid? But you see the
so-
problem I have with this Champions League,
Yes.
that the fact that one of Napoli, AC Milan, who are the other two teams that are on that bracket?
Bayern, Man City.
No, on that Napoli's bracket. You know, in Bayern's bracket is
Inter,
Bayern,
Inter,
Bayern,
yes, Inter,
Inter Milan,
and one other team,
Who's Inter
Benfica.
playing?
Benfica.
What's
Benfica.
that, man? What's that?
That's a useless bar.
That bracket is so useless, man.
So,
So now we are going to have one of those 4 teams when we have this other bracket that has potential
Top dogs,
finalists.
yeah.
Yeah, like Bayern, Madrid,
So
Chelsea.
some
and-
go out
but it is what it
prematurely,
is.
basically. Some
But
have to-
Napoli, bro, what Napoli is cooking. You know, there are some teams that when they get to the final, they become unpredictable.
Yeah.
Napoli, although there's this Champions League course that there's no team that's got there for the first time and won it that first time. It's called football heritage, you understand? But anyway, and all of them, okay, except AC Milan, I think the rest of, okay.
do you think they will beat
Inter.
AC Milan?
Who? Napoli.
Napoli.
I don't know, because AC Milan has Champions League heritage.
And AC
Do
Milan
you
just beat them
understand?
4-0.
And they just beat them. Oh my God, that's
See,
true.
that 4-0, but I
That's
feel
true.
like
That was
Napoli
more-
did not take it seriously.
Yeah, they should
are
have.
16 points ahead.
They should
It's a
have.
mental thing of football is as much
Because
as
this
it is
thing,
on
they'll
the
carry
ground.
it into
Do you
Champions
understand?
League.
This is why Chelsea beat Man City
Wait, let me
in
bust.
Champions League finals.
Let me bust your
Because he
brain.
was beating him.
That's
Let me
true.
bust your
That's
brain.
true.
I don't think they put Osimhen because of that reason. They want to put a seed of doubt in AC Milan's spirit.
That's
And we didn't use
maybe-
our complete squad.
Yeah, true,
we didn't use
true,
our
true.
complete
If
squad.
it worked,
With
it
the
would have
rest,
been
with the
mad.
rest. Yeah.
Fair,
Yeah,
fair,
yeah.
fair.
That's another way to
That-
look at
that's-
it.
that's
That's
fair,
another
that's
way
That's
to
just
look
the
at
first
it.
game after the
That's true.
international break, but
Yeah.
it says no far that Napoli should concede 4 goals. It's true.
They were horrible.
No,
They
it
were
was
bad.
a horrible night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Down to every. In fact, Raspadori disappointed in him. You can't just feel in the position of top 9 this season and not get the goals. Napoli on that night was abysmal, and if they play like that in the Champions League, in fact, I've never believed that Napoli will win the Champions League or get to the finals. I love the incredible form they have in the league. They should win the
Yeah,
league.
nobody actually believes
They
it.
should
But that
win
their
the league.
bracket is where the
But when
problem
you look
is.
at the bracket they have,
Yeah.
even you put Benfica in that bracket and in the Champions League, Benfica
Because
is
Benfica-
a household name.
Isn't it Benfica that has that course? There's one course that was
So-
placed on a team in Portugal. It was Benfica now. That
Yeah.
the coach, they sacked one coach that won them a trophy, and then he caused them that they won't win a European trophy for 100 years.
So
Serious?
We're
There was
talking about Tory type course.
Something
Course
like that.
of-
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
Touré
Google
type,
it,
oh.
you see it. There's a course of Benfica,
So,
but yeah.
but
it's
for
just-
Napoli, I'm excited with the season so far. The exceptional run of Napoli in the Serie A as well as in the Champions League. But when it
Beautiful.
comes to the Champions League and who might win the Champions League or the potential finalist, I think you have to. This year is not for Madrid.
well, that's what we always think. Oh.
No,
That's what
maybe
we
that's
always
you, but
think.
I strongly feel that this year Madrid
have
will not
holes.
get to the final.
Yeah.
This
Oh, they've
year.
always had holes. That's what I'm saying.
Boy, it's their pedigree. Is that
That's what I'm
Champions
saying.
League?
They've
Is that
always,
Champions
every
League?
time they win the Champions
The
League,
time
in the
Chelsea
league,
beat
they
them,
have holes.
when Chelsea beat them in the Champions League, did you see it coming? Nobody.
No, you see the thing with Chelsea winning Champions League. Most of the time they won Champions, you never expected
No, I'm not
them
talking
to
about
win.
the Champions League. I'm talking about the Madrid game.
And that's what I'm
Without home
saying
and
now.
away. They never, ever saw it coming. So for Real Madrid, as much as I want to believe that yes, when it comes to Champions League, is their heritage. But I think this season is a different ballgame entirely. Apart from this game they just play, that Benzema had
leave all these
leave that game. You see, Rodrigo this season has been an eyesore. Valverde has been the man there. Benzema after coming back from injury has tried to hit the ground
Two best
rolling.
players.
Then you look at the midfield. You see, last season I look at Camavinga and I look at Rodrigo. I look at Vinicius Junior. I said these are players that Madrid has finally replaced some of their old legs. And this season, Camavinga has shown that Casemiro is a lord at Madrid.
Now.
See, he has struggled. He has struggled massively. Immediately he left and they roll solid like he's going to start every single game. Chouameni as well. Then these are players that I don't understand what is wrong. Look at the back line of Madrid. Just look at the back line of Madrid. Let's be honest. Courtois don't have that confidence. Since he won the fifth Ballon d'Or,
he's good.
Goalkeeper,
best keeper in the world. Hold on, before you even continue, let me ask you guys this: Kvaratskhelia and
fantastic pronunciation.
Practice no reason. And Rafael Leao.
Yeah.
Who would you rather have?
Leao now.
Leao, yeah. What guys?
It's close. It's close. But Leao is close. It's close.
Consistency.
It's close.
I'd rather have Kvaratskhelia. No, why?
I better pronounce them again.
I know how you pronounce them. I don't kill you for
Kvaratskhelia. Napoli winger, sha.
I beg, sorry.
They are the assist Osimhen.
Even you know how you pronounce my language now.
Let's go.
All right, so sorry. Now we entered Madrid. Let's enter them. They won 6-0. They are 12 points behind. My chest.
Good for you.
Wait, they are 12 points behind.
12 points behind, my guy. It's not
okay, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, that's
Barcelona don't consider only 9 goals.
Only 9 goals.
Yeah, I don't know how they did it.
Testega's hair transplant cost this.
Bro, that's a solid point, man. That's a solid point.
This is the end of today.
That's a solid
point. Testega's Turkish plug should come and tell us what's happening.
You need
you
it.
put on the plug.
See my hairline, guys. I need this, man.
You know the person. But yeah, so for Madrid, before we even finish, I think that's what we just did to enter. Okay, we'll bounce off of Madrid. But before, what's the problems they're having, right? I'm looking at right back, left back, center of the field, right wing. For me, I would say as a Madrid fan, if we can in the next maybe 2 seasons, Bellingham, Haaland, Saka, Luis James, wait now, and Alphonso Davies. That will also set my team up.
Only you.
Yes, now.
You see the thing with Madrid, yeah? I think
Madrid, we can pull it off.
Madrid is more interested.
No.
Madrid is more interested in Champions League. They've always been more. They don't really have league like in the past 10 years. How many leagues have
they're not league matches
since Messi. Since Messi, actually.
Do you understand? So it's just like
Messi.
They've always been that Champions League team. So me, no matter what they're doing in the league, it's not. It doesn't concern me. It's when it comes to Champions that I'll know if Madrid is actually playing well or not.
Fair
because
enough.
It's when they're in the Champions that everybody, all these names that you called, that they're not playing well,
big
come to the Champions League.
No.
It will turn up.
It's
see
Camavinga
last
season.
season.
Turn up in the
last season.
Every
time they brought him
on. Turn up in Champions League.
No, Modric, that one is standard. That one is standard.
Benzema will not play the whole season.
Standard.
He will
come to Champions League.
Just the assist.
I think there's something in the water in Madrid.
It's the mentality. It's the opposite of Spurs. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's the direct
they don't
opposite of
self-sabotage.
Spurs. Madrid just have that. Like, no, even if I am the one playing in Madrid, once I just get to Champions, there's the spirit of Madrid.
There's something from basketball I got.
Sign me, Madrid.
Juman Green always says this: there are 82 game players and there are 16 game players, playoff players. There are players that are tournament players. There are players that are the cup is at hand. While play like one game and you're out. This kind of players that where Madrid are a team that one game. One game you're out. So those kind of teams they turn up. Because that is I think that is why Pep has not won Champions League yet. Pep's formation and strategy deals with a long season. He needs. That's why Messi.
Those players are just turn up. That's why Haaland.
That's why he bought Haaland. He needs someone that can break the mold, like Messi broke the mold. He needs someone because Pep now inverted fullbacks. They use inverted fullbacks. They use interplay. So now 38 games, long possession, all these things. Break down defense, manage your players, all these kind of things. Sub out. But tournament game, that's why Tuchel removed him. Tournament games, like there's some players that just you can also do inverted players.
But that one shot was mistake. Could have played Fernandinho. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he went to overthink.
And that's why he overthinks too now.
No, don't use that word overthinking because when he walks, you don't come and say he's overthinking.
That's why he's overthinking because he did not walk. That's
Yes,
exactly
now.
why it's called overthinking.
The formula you were using to win, you changed it because
Yeah,
na final.
I did
Because
watch,
na final, you
watch.
change it.
O'Shea, coaches, German and Brazilian.
No, see the coach there.
No, Nottingham Forest will sign you, don't worry.
Hey! Oh my God, take a move.
I swear.
I go. Wait,
You go back
I
to
don't even know their
goals.
owner's name.
No,
You know, I
as
go to
coach.
goalie.
As the coach, you want
No,
to
I'll
take
take
it.
it.
No,
man.
they will relegate
I'll
to.
take
They
it.
will not go to
But
championship.
before
They only
me
two.
relegate for what?
Two.
Once they see me
Alright.
there, my pedigree. They
Let's
just-
try this.
Your pedigree for Liverpool.
All right, let's try this. Since we want to be
Okay.
coaches, let's build our own of the game 11 based on this
This
season
is
so far.
This
interesting.
is
This
because
should be
fight.
interesting.
This is
So,
because fight like this.
As long as Kaiser doesn't
Because-
argue with my goat.
This guy,
Yeah.
if you go bring out Arsenal players,
No, I'm
Is
fair.
this past and present?
Granted,
No,
you deserve
present,
it.
this
I'm
is
fair.
President to
Okay, this season.
in
This
co-
season.
Are we doing a
current
5-a-side team or 11-a-side?
No, 11.
11,
11 14.
Alright, Calister, go ahead. Go
Pick,
first.
pick first person. Any wing, just pick one position, pick
Why?
a player.
And it asked me. Haaland.
No, he picked 11 players.
I just pick Haaland.
Okay,
They're
we're
top
picking it
9
together.
now.
We're picking it together.
Wait, so I can't pick a player, she has picked?
No,
You
no.
can't pick she'll pick a position, pick a player.
Okay, so I
Haaland,
can't pick a
top
player.
9. Top 9.
She has picked
Ah.
9 now, Haaland.
You won't
Okay.
argue
So
with
pick-
Haaland top 9?
No,
Pick
no,
any
no,
other
no,
player.
we're just
leave
picking
it now.
things,
No,
yeah.
Haaland.
If you want to dispute it,
If you want to
dispute
dispute, it's good though.
No.
Haaland.
I can't pick her player.
No, you don't. It's our player.
We are creating a team.
Okay.
We are the board of directors for this team.
Okay. I
Guy.
see.
So she has
Haaland,
picked, she has
top
picked
No, I'm
9.
going with Haaland.
Haaland. You want Osaka?
What position? What
Oh, yes,
formation
yes.
are we using?
What formation are we using?
4-3-3. Let's go 4-3-3.
4-3-3.
4
Holding mid,
3
Abi?
3.
Yes,
Holding
holding
Yes.
leader.
2-8.
Yes.
Haaland, top
Haaland,
9.
yeah, I go with that.
Why are you not saying anything?
Pick
You
now.
want to call Gabriel Jesus?
I want to say
Okay.
Let me land. We all know we have enemies.
You
But
want
the
to
truth is that,
Jesus?
wait now, the truth is that we've only lost 2 games in the league.
See, you know the start of Gabriel Jesus that caught me?
No, not be Gabriel
2
Jesus.
seasons
See.
at City. The last 2 seasons, Gabriel Jesus couldn't get double digits.
In
Couldn't
goals,
score
yeah.
10 goals.
No, he
He's
used to
really-
go,
he's
he used to
really
go on
City's
spiritual
defense,
goal
yeah.
drought. He used to
He's
go on
really
spiritual
My dear,
goal
you
drought.
started
That's why
22
it's
games.
He's really City's.
Ah.
See, let's
This
be
is
real.
how many goals?
My
Which
centre
wing are
back,
you-
Gabriel, from Arsenal.
Gabriel what?
How?
Gabriel who?
Who
Regardless,
in this
Abi.
team? You
When
see-
there's
you
Vadio.
see
You
your
don't
car.
even call
See
Saliba,
your
they call
car.
Gabriel.
As in,
He has been more. I've been watching. He has been more consistent.
wait, is it Gabriel
In
from
terms-
Madrid?
No, Arsenal. He has been more consistent. Centre back with Gabriel. He has been more consistent than Saliba. Check it out. Check
be
it
honest,
out. He has
to be
been more
honest,
in terms
I-
of consistency, like throughout all our matches.
Are we limiting this to Premier League?
No. I'm just-
Is there any other person you want to put? Or who maybe he's pairing? We are playing
Upamecano.
4-3-3. Ooh, that's a nice touch. That's a nice touch.
That's a very
Not Delhi.
Hmm?
Not Delhi.
Delete? No. He just started playing not too long ago.
Okay, for
Upamecano.
left, Vinicius.
Left back?
No, left wing.
How are we doing this
Vinicius.
thing? Now, this guy has gone to defense. That was striker.
No, anyhow you want to just pick a
No, we have
position.
to let's
Let's
do it
start
in
from
an
the
order.
goalkeeper.
Let's start from post.
Let's start from the
Let's start from
Okay.
the post.
Uh.
All right.
Now, the goalkeeper. This is confusing. Let's give 3 options. David De Gea, 1.
Pause. We have 5 minutes to do this.
5 minutes. Yeah, let's rush through it.
Right.
So just say your options. Say your. It
David
doesn't have to be
De
the
Gea.
best.
David De Gea, Ederson, Alisson.
I'll put Ter Stegen.
I will.
plot twist.
I will go with Ter Stegen.
Let's go with
I'll go with Ter
Stegen.
Stegen.
Majority carries the
Because
ball.
of that 9 goals. I
They
just have to
defend.
win.
Yes, 9
I've
goals.
never
this
watched him
season.
this season, but
Fantastic.
9 goals, fam.
You have to do something right.
But he
Yeah.
was knocked out of Champions League. Let's move on. Backline.
Okay, let's start with left back.
Alphonso Davies.
That's not bad.
Like, just because there's nobody that will say that he's performing better.
That's not bad. Right back, I'll put
Left.
Araujo.
Who?
Araujo.
Yeah, for Barcelona.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
I'll
I'll
put
go
Araujo.
with that. I'll go with that. Centre backs, Upamecano and
Gabriel.
Please pick a centre back, I beg.
Come on, why would I hit?
Thiago
We did
Silva.
top of-
Oof.
Thiago
Come on.
Silva.
For
Come on.
11th position, 12th position, please.
It's not that now.
Thiago Silva.
Thiago Silva
He's
is.
injured massive. Please.
No, it's not
But
matter
this
of
season-
injury. This season, Thiago
This
Silva.
season, Gabriel has performed better than Thiago Silva. I can die on this hill.
No,
I upload.
I can die on this hill.
I
I can
upload
die on
for
this
this
season.
one.
They
This
have a
season,
better- they have a
I
better
can
defensive.
die on
We are
this
talking
hill.
of longevity, yes,
Yeah,
but this season,
no, I can die on
So
this
we're not
hill.
moving
but for me,
anywhere
I will
from
even pick
Newcastle.
Akanji, so. Huh?
That's nice.
That's
Akanji
nice.
and Ake
That's
are
for
actually.
this
That's
season.
nice,
Yeah.
that's
Okay,
nice.
so our backline is Davies,
No, let's go with Gabriel. Let's go with Gabriel and
Gabriel,
Upamecano and Araujo.
Yeah,
solid.
DM. That's Partey Casemiro.
I have to say this for Odumodu
Partey
Black.
Casemiro.
Declan Rice.
Hey!
Declan Rice.
Okay.
Declan Rice, bro.
Who is
Okay.
declared?
There are three
Just
midfielders in the
because-
Prem better than him.
No, just for Odumodu, man. Just for Odumodu.
All
But
right.
yeah, DM. Let's go with
Declan Rice is actually a
I
good
go with
shout.
Declan Rice, bro.
Declan Rice is a good shout.
I go with Declan Rice.
He's in
I stand
West
with my
Ham.
brother.
They're not performing great, but he's actually
I'm not saying he's the
himself
best
a good player.
DM. That's the one
I'm
I'm going with.
conflicted between Rodri, Casemiro, and Partey.
Rodri.
Oga Casemiro.
I have to go with Partey, man.
Casemiro is the one actually.
Casemiro, please.
Casemiro does more dirty work.
I hear
the
that.
dirty work
I
is
hear
very
that.
good.
Cas-
You don't have to be dirty. To
Let's
be
pick
a
our 2, 8
regist-
and 10. 8 or 10.
Bellingham has to be there for me, man.
Odegaard.
Martin Odegaard.
That's you're on point, man. You're on point.
Martin Odegaard.
You're on point.
Martin Odegaard.
Which other CMs are even there? De
There's
Bruyne
De
has
Bruyne.
not
No,
really.
there's De Bruyne, but he's
He
not
hasn't
on
really
fire.
come through this season.
How
like
about
that.
this? Okay, Saul is not really
But I
performing.
always choose
Wow.
Kevin De Bruyne.
No, when he's day.
Yeah, on his day. I'll go with Bellingham. Sha. I just
But
like
see
the
Newcastle,
guy.
people are making a good shot for Gimenez.
Bruno is a fantastic player.
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
He's a fantastic. Not Fernandez is good, but Guimaraes this season.
All right, so we have Odegaard, Bellingham, and Casemiro. Abi?
Or Declan
Yeah.
Rice.
Or Declan Rice. Then 9 and 2 wings. So 9 was
Nine
in
Haaland.
Haaland.
We've agreed on that. Left wing, it has to be Kvaratskhelia.
Over Vinicius.
Sorry.
Over Vinicius. Left to me, Vinicius
Yes.
is the third best player in the
Kvaratskhelia.
world.
Right wing is Saka. Let's not even go there.
Yeah.
Forget right wing.
Star boy.
Now we're arguing on
Star
left
boy.
wing.
Let's enter this left wing.
Quara, bro.
Who?
Quara, bro.
The state or the jungle?
Quara.
I'm confused.
Please,
No, this is
Vinicius
like- he's
Junior.
hot. He's hot.
Vinicius
We're
Junior.
talking about this season
We're
now.
talking of this season.
Vinicius too is hot this season.
Yeah, but
Vinicius
this guy is top of his
Junior.
league.
Haaland. Bukayo Saka.
Well, let's go with Vinicius. Let's go with Vinicius.
Let's go. Anyone.
Junior Saka.
All right. So you have of the game 11. So we're going Ter Stegen, Davis, Gabriel, Upamecano, Araujo, Casemiro, Stroke.
Declan Rice.
Thank you. Bellingham,
Bellingham,
Odegaard, Vinicius, Haaland, Starboy Saka.
Saka.
No, not a bad team.
Champions
think-
League winners.
Yes, so.
Our super sub with Martinelli.
Coach of the season.
Oh yeah,
Who's going to be our coach for the team?
Me.
This guy, Scaloni.
How now?
Scaloni, Argentina's coach.
I don't
For what?
understand.
Bro,
I don't understand.
easy. Argentina's coach. His first 2 tournaments, Copa America and World Cup, and he won it.
No, that's
Bro,
clean
He
slate.
doesn't come. He doesn't
That's
come.
clean
first.
slate.
All right, for
Scaloni,
our
shut
wait.
I need to just
for our wonderful fans out there, please do send us your own thoughts on the subject. Create your own team. Hit us on socials and let us know what you think. Also, you can argue with our own.
argue with our team.
If you think yours will beat, we can actually set it. We have PS5 or Xbox now.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
play it to see how it goes. You get?
Calister.
All right. So again, thank you to these beautiful people. We're also here to serve you. Do follow us on every platform, like every social media platform, every listening or video platform, and we have you. We'll always bring you the best content, the biggest news. Like see today now, we had everything on Chelsea sacking. We had everything on Bundesliga and Champions League. We got you anytime, any day.
Yeah.
You get fantastic conversations. I would like to bring even possibly you on board. You can never know when it will be your turn, and we are going to invite people, and you might be one of them. So do have a nice time and enjoy it.
Let's do this,
Come to
guys.
River Plate and watch our football.